New Englanders expected to see sky high electricity prices until deep in the 2030s. Another reason maybe to reconsider retiring to Maine. Boy. So check this out. So here's some Marcellus Drilling News, MDN, out of the Marcellus Shale, knee deep, in the beautiful state of Commonwealth of PA. Here's a fact the mainstream media largely ignores. Households in the Boston area pay about 50% more electricity than households across the nation. On average, Massachusetts residents spend about $276 a month on electricity, which is 37% higher than national. Ooh, nail it. An op-ed appearing in the Washington Examiner says New Englanders need to get used to these high prices. Wonder why? Because old Janet, what's that chick's name? Janet Mills, we're going to go carbon neutral by 2040. High prices for electricity are here to stay, at least well into the 2030s. Why? Lack of pipelines blocked by New England politicians. And Governor Cuomo, who's not a New England politician, but he did the same. We've made this argument again and again that a lack of pipelines from the Marcellus Shale into New England is causing high prices for electricity and gas for those who use heat and cook with it. We spotted the op-ed below that does a masterful job of connecting the dots, laying the blame where it needs to be on Maine politicians, and I hate to say it, the fools who keep electing them. Households in the Boston area pay 50% more than electricity than households across the nation. Right? Across New England, electricity prices are skyrocketing. Central Maine power customers are experiencing a 50% increase in electricity bills. The dramatic increases in the cost of electricity burden households across New England. The increases are especially onerous for low-income households that spend more of their disposable income on essentials, heating, food, and transportation. It wasn't always like this. Natural gas fueled just 15% of the region's electricity, but with the development of natural gas of the prolific Marcellus shales in Pennsylvania, new pipelines and power plants were built connecting New England with the Marcellus shale pipeline or deposits. The new power plants are efficient and quite clean too, by the way. As natural gas increases as a fuel source, there's a significant long-term decline in emissions of greenhouse gases because natural gas is better than coal. What? Who knew? Who knew? You know, it's better than, if you're worried about CO2, and I'm not, we need CO2. We need more of it, actually. But you know what's even better than natural gas? A good old thing called uranium. Relatively clean gas replaced carbon-heavy coal and oil. Until recently, 2008 marked the historic peak in energy prices in New England. In fact, the energy market value of fuels consumed in New England reached record lows by 2016. Natural gas from Marcellus Shale Basin was cheap. Since 2016, however, matters have changed. New England politicians, including senators from Massachusetts and their newly elected governor, along with green energy advocates, have blocked the addition of new policies. This is just Massachusetts, the same in Maine, dude. On very cold days, there is inadequate pipeline capacity to satisfy the energy need in Massachusetts and other New England states. And so they're forced to burn oil and import liquefied natural gas from Singapore. That's fantastic. Because the Jones Act, which mandates that ship, including LNG tankers that carry cargo from one U.S. port to another, must be U.S. flagged and crewed by Americans. It's not economical to ship from the Gulf Coast to New England. Can you believe that? U.S. flagged ships are not competitive in the global shipping market, so New England power companies import from liquefied natural gas from Europe, even Russia. Boy. Of course, the progressive politicians are going to blame energy companies. I keep blaming them. It's not going to change anything. The past winter, when LNG prices soared because of the war in Ukraine, progressives wanted to violate one of the principles of free market economics and ban exports of liquefied natural gas. We can't have that. We can't have the LNG being sent to Ukraine. We need it here, but we can't. We don't want pipelines here either. Progressives know that even if LNG exports were banned, the Jones Act would still make it prohibitively expensive to import LNG from Texas, where when it gets really cold, New England households pay the price. Finally, progressives say the problem of high electricity prices will be solved as more wind and solar come in. That's misrepresentation. It's never going to happen anyway. So, idiotic. Looks good on them. Yeah, I just... I don't know what to tell you, man. If you got the money, you're like, hey, because all these rich people in Boston, moving up to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, moving up to Portland, Maine, they're like, and Camden and whatnot. Like, hey, we got the money. We don't $300 a month for electricity. We don't care. So they're all poor saps in Maine though who don't have the cash scratch to pay for it. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, there you go. See ya.